How in the world did Major League Baseball not include these three players in their Midsummer Classic? We just had the All-Star teams announced and the reserves, and these are the three biggest snubs and who I think they should be replacing. I know every team needs a representative, so those guys have been left off of this list. Wander Franco should have made the All-Star game over Whit Merrifield. The issue with Major League Baseball is that they decided to put a true second baseman as a reserve instead of just taking the best middle infielder possible like they should. Franco has been one of the most valuable players in the whole league. He ranks 5th in all of baseball in Fangraphs WAR at 3.7 wins above replacement so far. Wander Franco is slashing 283, 343, 459 with 9 home runs, 42 runs batted in, and 26 stolen bases to go along with a weighted runs created plus of 125. If you compare that to Whit Merrifield, it isn't even close as to who should be in the All-Star game. Whit Merrifield has accumulated a third of Wander Franco's wins above replacement. He's slashing 282, 339, 361 with 2 home runs, 30 runs batted in, 18 stolen bases, and a weighted runs created plus of 98, which is below league average. At only 22 years old, Wander Franco should have made it in over Whit Merrifield 100% of the time. If Major League Baseball cared about marketing their young stars, that would have been an absolute no-brainer that Wander Franco made it in over Whit Merrifield this year. Fernando Tatis should have made the All-Star game over Lourdes Gurriel Jr. It feels like Major League Baseball has been punishing Tatis Jr. for his PED suspension because if, again, you want to market this game, you should be including one of the game's brightest young stars in the premier event of the summer instead of 30-year-old Lourdes Gurriel Jr. While only playing 65 games so far, Fernando Tatis Jr. has accumulated the 12th most Fangraphs WAR of all players this season. Tatis is slashing 286, 346, 535. He has 16 home runs. He's driven in 44. He's stolen 14 bags and has a weighted runs created plus of 140. These numbers are very similar to Lourdes Gurriel, who has played in 8 more games than him. Gurriel is slashing 270, 321, 489 with 13 home runs, 49 driven in, a stolen base, and a weighted runs created plus of 116. I like Lourdes as a player, but there is no way you can say that you would rather see him over Fernando Tatis. I believe that Ketel Marte should have gotten in the All-Star game over Ozzy Albies. Ozzy Albies is deserving to be in the All-Star game, sure, but I think Ketel Marte should have been in before him. Looking at the two stat lines, Albies has the better counting stats, but every stat that people claim is advanced shows that Marte has been the better player this year. Looking at the two players, Ketel Marte is slashing 285, 365, 502 with 15 home runs, 44 driven in, 6 stolen bases, a weighted on-base average of 372, and a weighted runs created plus of 133. Looking at Ozzy Albies, he is slashing 260, 313, 505 with 20 home runs and 60 runs batted in, also 6 stolen bases, a weighted on-base average of 344, and a weighted runs created plus of 113. If we look at wins above replacement, Ozzy Albies has a Fangraphs WAR of 1.9, while Ketel Marte has a Fangraphs WAR of 2.2. Ozzy Albies obviously has a lot of help playing on the best offenses of the league, but I think Ketel Marte has put together a more complete first half. It should hopefully be rewarded with an injury replacement. Eventually, I think all 3 of these players will get into the game because of the injury replacements, but let me know who you guys think was also snubbed from getting in the game. We can look at pitchers as well, but we know based on when they throw, they might get into the game already, so I didn't want to complain about that. Thank you again for watching, Skippers. Subscribe, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys later on this week.